Welcome back, Flare community. So first of all, I just want to apologize for being a little bit late, and we're going to start things off a little bit different from the usual tradition. I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you so much for joining and watching the stream live. As always, I hope you're having a great Monday. And give me a second. Yeah, so basically, in fact, let me just check that I'm streaming on the right channel here, because my software has been going a little bit dodgy right now. Doesn't look that great, to be honest. No, we're good. If you're here, please type something in the chat, let's say. So we normally start things here on Flare Metrics with the latest FTSO statistics. I'm going to give that a quick refresh right now. But the reason that I'm slightly late tonight is that I've been spending time at my niece's birthday. It was her 4th birthday today. And yeah, this is my niece here in the middle, and I've got my 2 older nephews, the oldest nephew and the second oldest nephew, and obviously my niece here, looking absolutely glamorous with her mermaid outfit. And, you know, it really does bring into perspective, you know, for me personally, I'm not just invested in crypto for the reason of benefiting myself, right? Unfortunately, I come from a working class background, and these absolutely chirpy chaps, they are the light of my life at the minute. And I don't just want to make a good amount of money for myself, but also for them as well. I'm sort of aiming for generational wealth, right? And this is something that I think is important, you know, maybe not get too selfish. And if you're only a child, if you're an only child, then that's fine, but take a step back and try to think about what you would like to do with the money that you have, right? And for me, it's all about benefiting these individuals here that we see on the screen. But regardless, it's enough of my personal life right now. So we're going to delve into the way that we always start the channel, the live stream, and that is with flaremetrics.io. It's a great website for those who may want to sort of find out the statistics on various signal providers. So we'll give this a quick refresh right here. And from this website, flaremetrics.io, you can find out what the best performing signal providers are at the particular week. So we have Ivy Oracle here topping the charts, 01 FTSO in second, S Toads in third, Oracle Swap in fourth, and in fifth place we have AFTSO. So I guess some notable changes. S-Toads has been knocked off the top spot, and it's interesting because there was the collusion sort of news with 01 FTSO, so it seems like they're beating them at the minute, which is very strange, but we'll see what happens. And, you know, I think something important when it comes to digesting this information is the vote power. So the vote power basically is almost like a weighting, right? So the more vote power that you have, the more you can draw the accuracy of the final FTSO output to your price predictions. And it's a little bit strange to see Ivy Oracle here with such a low vote power being able to hit such high numbers or high accuracy, or what is deemed accurate by the FTSO output. Oracle Swap here, definitely climbing the ranks, which I'm very happy to see. But, you know, if you look at these numbers, if we go down by vote power, sorry, double click them, AFTSO have the biggest vote power. And what that essentially means is that this particular Oracle, or this particular signal provider, should I say, to the Oracle, is able to drag the average to their prices with the most weight, right? You can go through here and check them all out yourself. But interesting. I definitely am keeping my eye on this. But regardless, we're going to move on. We have this from XRP_Crow, aka Stedas. I've known him for a long time, actually, before I even started the channel. And he does these posters, and these posters are not just for the Flare community, but also he does them for the XRP community too. And these posters are almost a snapshot in time, which I don't know, I kind of like. I'm actually one of the YouTubers here, which you can see, but also an ambassador, which means he has sent me a poster in the past, which I'm extremely grateful for. But, I think it's also, important to highlight that if you do want to get involved in this poster and you want to have your Twitter account featured on the poster, then you definitely need to check out his site. And like I said, it's almost like a snapshot in time. It's almost like a slice of history. Who was there from the beginning? And I've got one of these Generation 1 posters. This is the second edition. But if you do want to get involved, then please feel free to check out at Status. At Status. It's a Twitter handle, right? Big news. The biggest news, I think, for this week, no doubt, is the fact that we did have confirmation of the FLR distribution date. So FLR, obviously, the Flare Network launched back in July, but the distribution event is something which is completely separate, and that is expected to take place between the 24th of October and the 6th of November. So not long now, potentially within this month. And I know a lot of people have been waiting for this, as have I. We're all in the same boat, but from my perspective, I'm happy to wait for the network to be sufficiently decentralized before we receive the asset. So it's close, and 1 month in crypto passes in the blink of an eye, right? So stay tuned for that. I will give you more details once we get a concrete date. Currently, there is this time range, 24th of October and the 6th of October. And it actually worked out pretty well because I did speculate these dates in a previous video, and it turns out to be true. So yeah, happy days, and I'll keep you updated once we do get a concrete date, and I'm sure that's going to come very soon. Here's something that I would just like to highlight, right? So a lot of people say about the proposal, right? What does the proposal mean? And if I'm honest, the proposal means nothing at the minute because nothing has changed, right? The proposal is just a proposal. It's a suggestion, right? And the outcome of the proposal depends on what the holders of FLR collectively believe to be the best option, right? Now, since none of us have received FLR, none of us can vote on this proposal. But once you have FLR, you can decide what is the best option for you. And everyone needs to take into consideration their personal preference. I'd highly recommend people read the proposal and digest that information and make an informed decision of if you think that it's a good thing, if you think it's a bad thing. You need to make your own decision because it's collectively what is going to define the outcome of this proposal. I think it's fairly obvious that I'm a proponent of this proposal. I think it's going to be a good idea for many different reasons, which I've outlined in previous videos. But still, regardless, I know that some people like to highlight that they're not a fan of this proposal, which is completely fine. The result of the proposal will be determined by the overall FLR holders' decision, right? So this is pure democracy. This is how governance works. So I'd just like to highlight that point. And if you are thinking of voting in this proposal, don't just base it on some some YouTuber's opinion, right? My opinion is regardless. What really matters is your opinion. Vote how you see the proposal. If you think it's a good idea, vote for the proposal. If you don't think it's a good idea, vote against the proposal, and the majority are going to succeed. So if enough people think that it's a bad idea, then the proposal won't be implemented. But from my personal experience and the polls that I've carried out, I feel like a lot of people are actually backing this proposal because logically, if you're interested in the network, it's beneficial in all possible ways. Anyways, moving on. We do have this here. So the quiz league for the Flare community has just ended, and I gave 250 XRP to Jimmy Thing. I gave 100 XRP to Freaking Awesome. What a legend. We had 50 XRP to Provenance or Terra Mesa, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. And yeah, this quiz league, it happens every quarter, and every quarter I'm giving away quick math here, 400 XRP, right? So if you are a member of the Flare community, that's a YouTube paid member, or if you are a Patreon, please join the Patreon, the Discord group, because you get so many extra benefits. You unlock all kinds of rooms, and you have access to these quizzes every week. I give away 30 XRP every single week. And we do these big quiz leagues where we tally up the winnings for every quarter, and the people who are top of the charts get a large amount of XRP. So if you are interested, feel free to check the links in the description below. Got some messages here from Hugo, or I guess a single tweet here. He says, I can't stress this enough. As a Celsius user, you should be lodging a claim as creditor with the bankruptcy court dealing with Celsius. Perhaps a lawyer in the community can help with this. That's John Deaton and Jesse. So I guess that's Jesse Haynes. Or you could have also tagged other members of the community that are also proficient in the lawyer space, such as we've got obviously got John Deaton, we've got Jesse, but there's plenty more as well. The name is absolutely screaming me right now, but if you give me a second, Jeremy Hogan, sorry that took me so long to figure out, but yeah, there's a lot of decentralized attorneys, as you would say, and if you are with Celsius, they have the responsibility to distribute Celsius, and if you are a Celsius holder, then definitely heed this advice. We have Annie here. Annie, the legend. Anyways, she's not just a legend within the community, but also she's a moderator of the Flare official Discord too. And she's talking about decentralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, if you didn't know what that stands for. We've got quite a few here on Songbird. We've got Oracle Swap, we've got Pangolin, we've got Blaze Swap, and we've got FLR Finance. And I'm sure Olar Finance are planning to release a decentralized exchange in the near future too, but it's great to see so much applications launching on Songbird, and eventually they're going to launch on Flare. But speaking of Pangolin, however you want to pronounce it, the user face has just updated. They got the default currency update for Songbird, SAR bug fix, the USD price fix for Songbird implemented, support for next.js, that's basically a programming sort of thing, bridge UI components added to, and it's quite a good interface, I can't lie. There's a lot of decentralized exchanges, but you've got to, I guess, really refine where you think the liquidity is, because if you're trading on a decentralized exchange, then liquidity is your best friend, right? You need to choose the ones with the most liquidity, because that's how you're going to get the best price, right? The less slippage. Coston 2 is live. This is the public testnet for Flare, and some of you may be wondering what Coston 2 is. We've got Coston 1, but now there's Coston 2. What happens to Coston 1? And there is a blog post coming out in the near future, and I'm keeping my eyes tuned for that. I have been reassured by the team that there is a blog post coming in the future, but from the documentation, Coston 2 is Flare's public test network, and Coston, aka Coston 1, is Songbird's public test network. So let me just bring this up to your attention here. I hope that you can see it on screen. Yeah, it's not too small here. So you've got Coston, which is Songbird's test network. That goes into the Songbird network, obviously. You've got Coston here, which is Flare's test network, and that goes into the Flare main network. But you've also got this merge here where Songbird actually merges into the Flare network. And you may be wondering what the point of Coston 2 is. And, just want to give my high-level overview because we haven't really seen the official documentation released by Flare yet. But, these two networks can definitely deviate from each other. So, there may be some things tested on here. Excuse me. Sorry about that. There may be some things on this network which are not implemented on Flare. So, for example, for those of you who may not know, Songbird Network has a epoch time of 7 days. So every week you can claim rewards, all of that good stuff. But Flare is actually going to have an epoch time of half that amount. So every 3.5 days. So you're going to be able to claim 2 times every week, right? And that means that it makes sense to have another test network that can feed into Flare Network in a almost mirrored environment. And the idea of a test network is to be able to test functionality as close to the environment which it's replicating, right? So Coston 2 will be almost an identical replication of the Flare main network, right? The difference is that Coston 2 is not going to have value. The native assets on Coston, this Coston 2, are going to be able to be free to mint. It's going to be a great opportunity to for developers to launch applications and test if it will work on Flare, right? But Songbird, being the canary network, is very different from a test network because Songbird has a defined value. That's why you're able to trade this on centralized exchanges, right? And the main reason is because Songbird started with a defined supply. You're not able to create more Songbird as and when you feel like, but it's completely different to Coston. Both Costons, actually, you're able to create the assets at will. Okay, so theoretically, the ideal deployment pipeline from my perspective, it's to go from Coston, launch on Songbird, then take this diagonal cut here to Coston 2, and then launch on Flare. But that's just my perspective. We'll see how many developers actually, inherit that sort of pipeline. But regardless, we've got this here. This photo was taken by the James Webb Telescope on Monday. So the James Webb Telescope, a highly sophisticated telescope. I'm sure you may know it by now. I hope so anyway, those that are interested in astronomy. And this was actually taken by it. And you can see the Flare here as the start of the solar system. And you've got all of these decentralized assets and whatnot surrounding it. I'm kidding. For those of you who may be so gullible, this was not taken by the James Webb Telescope, but still, it's an interesting visualization. You've got Flare in the middle and all of these assets surrounding it, willing to join it and sort of in the gravitational field of the Flare network. I thought it was pretty powerful as a visualization. Thought I'd bring it to your guys' attention. We've got Fat Cats here, sold out. So yeah, they sold out of their the Fat Tigers mint. And for those who was holding, if you got the Fat Cats, you will have had the Fat Leopards. And if you was holding a Fat Leopard, you will have had an airdrop of the Fat Tigers. So there was actually maybe like 10 Fat Tigers which had unique attributes, individual attributes, one of one, which granted you a bit of a prize. So congratulations to those who actually bought that. I'm a big fan of the Fat Cats. as many of you know, and I've done many podcasts with them. I say many, it's 2. But feel free to check them out if you're wondering what the Fat Cats project is. It's pretty big in my eyes. It's basically going to allow everyday investors to get access to investing in artwork, which is one of the most promising asset classes to invest in over the previous history. Jude here, I absolutely love Jude. He's created some incredible visualizations, and this is just a reminder that he has many NFTs that he's actually selling, and a lot of these are really great. They take a lot of time to create, and I actually hold many of these myself. I like this one here, the layer cake one. And obviously, this is just a GIF, so it's not high quality, but still pretty good. Used from Oracle Swap here. So the Pro NFT staking smart contract is essentially complete and should be tested with the UI, which means user interface, in beta soon. So check out the mockup of what the UI is planned to look like below. And obviously it's still subject to change, which is a fair assumption. So there we go. This is what it's planning to look like. So you can actually stake your Oracle NFTs. For those that are holding them, it's one of the most, I think, lucrative projects for the creators on Songbird. One of the highest, how do you say it? I don't know. It created the most value from the initial sales, let's say. So promising things here. And if you don't know, Oracle Swap are actually a decentralized exchange on the Songbird network. And it's basically a free-for-all. So if you have an asset that you may have, and it's not traded on FLR Finance, for example, you can basically add the contract address and find a pairing for that and sell it here on Oracle Swap, which is a great feature in terms of freedom, let's say. I guess some quick things to round up here before we close it off. We got Doc Bob D, an absolute legend in the Flare community. He's also a moderator of the Flare community Discord. He started creating these videos. He started his own YouTube channel, and he's really trying to push education on programming, but he's starting very simple with the basics, but he's also going to evolve into programming smart contracts and whatnot. So if you are interested in learning some development skills and development languages, or more specifically Python and I guess Solidity in the future, it's definitely worth checking out. He's a great guy, and he's also got his own project as well, the Pixel Plants. I've definitely featured that in the past. I highly recommend you checking that out, because it's a charitable event, and that's sort of what I'm all about as well. I think what you give, you should what you receive, you should also give, right? Yin and yang, all of that good stuff, karma, right? Just to wrap things up, I did create this NFT maybe a month ago now, and I did say that I'm going to be burning half of the supply, and I'm yet to do it, but by the end of the night, you will see half of this supply actually leave. And I'm very grateful for all of the Patreon members who actually joined in last month, September, and all of the existing Patreon members, because they received some of these for free, and they're going to receive the benefits of this 50% burn, because then it's only going to leave a couple more for me to give away for the Flare community poker club members, and we do that every week with the infamous Flare community Wheel of Appreciation. But regardless, I really do appreciate you all watching. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to be jumping over to the stage, and this is for obviously all the members Monday. And we're going to have a little bit of a chinwag here for those who may want to join. So if you are feeling up for a little bit of a chinwag, feel free to join the Discord, and hopefully I'll see you there. But if not, Have a great week. And until next time, I'm out.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.